In the last video we discussed the anatomy of messages. In this one we will talk about models, effort and AMP, thinking modes. Pick the wrong thinking mode for the wrong model and you don't get a warning, you get a 400, and sometimes the error message suggested fix is wrong too. Model selection used to be one axis, pick a size. It's 3 now, which model, how much effort, and how it thinks, and they interact. Here's the full picture. For current models, each with its own thinking defaults, Fable 5 always thinks, Haiku for 0.5 is the only one still on extended manual thinking. 5 effort levels running from low to max, governing every output token, not just reasoning. And 2 thinking modes, adaptive and manual, that are supported on completely opposite sets of models. The old way, you fixed a thinking budget yourself, and that budget was wrong for half your traffic, too much for easy requests, not enough for hard ones. Adaptive mode fixes that by letting Claude judge each request's difficulty itself, and it does something else for free, it silently turns on interleaved thinking, so the model can reason between tool calls instead of only before the first one, exactly what long agentic loops need. But the 2 modes live on opposite model generations. Manual thinking on Claude for 0.7 and later is a 400. Adaptive thinking on Claude for 0.5 and earlier is also a 400. The 2 error messages are mirror images of each other, know which model class throws which. Effort replaced budget_tokens because a fixed thinking budget only ever governed thinking, it did nothing about the model writing for tool calls where one would do. Output_config effort is a behavioral signal over everything the model outputs, text, tool calls, and thinking alike. That's why dialing effort down means fewer tool calls too, not just a shorter chain of thought. And separately, you're billed for the full raw reasoning, but what you see is a condensed summary produced by a different model, or nothing at all, since display defaults to omitted on every current model except the legacy 4.6 generation. Billed output tokens will not match what you can count in the response. Read output_tokens_details.thinking_tokens to see the real split. Lay the 4 models out by output price and the lineup tells its own story. Fable 5, built for long-running agents, tops out at $50 per million output tokens. Opus 5 sits at 25, positioned for complex agentic coding and enterprise work. Sonnet 5 is the speed and intelligence balance at 10, at least through its introductory pricing window. And Haiku for 0.5 is the fastest and cheapest at 5, though it's also the odd one out on thinking mode. One more thing that isn't in this chart, Claude for 0.7 and later use a newer tokenizer that produces roughly 30% more tokens for identical text. That's not a price change, but it is a bill change, budget your migration accordingly. For more traps. 1. Haiku for 0.5 is the reverse of every other current model, it supports extended thinking, not adaptive, and scenario questions love testing that exact reversal. 2. Setting effort to high is byte for byte the same as omitting it, and that specific case does not invalidate your prompt cache, anything else does, so pick a level per workload and hold it steady. 3. Modified thinking blocks get rejected with a 400, you have to pass back the whole content array unmodified, including thinking blocks whose text field is empty. And 4. If you switch models mid-conversation, strip the prior thinking blocks first. They're bound to the model that produced them. So, 3 axes, an adaptive thinking plus a deliberate effort level is the right default for almost everything built after 4.7. Get the model generation split wrong and you'll know immediately, the error message names the fix. Next up is consuming all of this over a live connection, streaming, event by event. If clear, sensible thinking is what you are after, subscribing is the most direct way to get the next one. See you in the next video.